So Ninja4444 here, bringing you another review. It's not going to be on a Bionicle, it's just going to be on a regular LEGO set. And today it's going to be on the LEGO SpongeBob, how do I call it, the house sets. I'll just call it the house sets. It doesn't say on the instructions, and I don't have the box anymore. So yeah, this is one of the first LEGO SpongeBob sets there is. And there's a lot of stuff here. I do have the instructions, so let's start out with that. First off is, you have the LEGO logo here. Also, I just wanted to explain something first, is that now I have this blanket here for everything, just as a way to avoid distractions in my reviews of other stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to do that. So yeah, and I'm probably going to be throwing in a little more stuff to improve my reviews from now on. My voice, I know you probably are complaining about my voice, but that's just something I can't really change. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, now let's first start off with the instructions. Alright, so here are the instructions. And like I said, first you have the LEGO logo here. You have this little banner on top with like bubbles, like in the original SpongeBob episodes. You have Nickelodeon, obviously, because of the copyright infringement and stuff like that. SpongeBob SquarePants or Bob Let Punge, or I don't know how to pronounce it. I think that's Spanish. Anyway, ages 7 and up. Who cares about age restrictions? Really? No one does. Set number 3827. SpongeBob right here. More Lego, not Lego, bubbles right there. You have all launching jellyfish. Squidward's even playing along, surprisingly. Patrick's rock is open to the TV. Patrick's riding in his boat, which I'll get more on that later. And SpongeBob's throwing stuff too. On the back, you have an ad for LEGO Shop at Home, and mail address, and all that good stuff. Now, on the inside of the instructions, first you build the minifigures using bag 1. Yeah, and Gary also counts as a minifigure too. Then you build the boat mobile. Then you build the little launchers. Then you build the box filled with the jellyfish. Now you build Patrick's rock. Pretty easy to build, actually, Patrick's rock. Then you build SpongeBob's bed. I wonder why you had to build this after Patrick's rock when you could have just built the houses for last and everything else first. Yeah. Then the launching action right there. Now you build Squidward's Easter Island head. And also, just in case if you're wondering, you have all these bubbles in the background right there. That's the background for the instructions. Should have mentioned that before. Anyway. Sorry guys. And you build the eyes of it. Now bag 2 builds SpongeBob's pineapple. This is probably the largest part of the set. It took me a while to build this. It probably took me longer to build everything else, actually. In fact, the instructions aren't even halfway done yet, and still, we're just starting SpongeBob's pineapple. instructions are kind of increased up here. Now you built the top of it with the pineapple leaves and the chimney. Then the thing with the little 2 basketballs there. Now it's done. We'll get more on this, on how it's only half circular. And that number there, I'll get more on that in a minute when I review Squidward's house and some of the writing too. I'll get more on that later. More writing there. As for the Lego cabinet, there's the back. Alright, so those are the instructions. Now let's move on to the minifigures, and SpongeBob just fell down. Alright, now let's move on to the minifigures, the smaller parts of the set. First off is you have SpongeBob here, and the reason why SpongeBob fell down is just because this blanket here is really soft, so it's hard to get him to stand up straight. But you have SpongeBob here. You have the shorter brown minifigure legs that don't move. Yeah, they don't move. You have an all yellow torso. And you have, instead of a regular minifigure head, you have this new SpongeBob head right here that fits over the torso. Very well detailed. Very nicely depicts SpongeBob. So, yeah. That's SpongeBob. And just come on, stay up, stay up. Don't fall down. Good. Now let's move on to Squidward. And just in case if you're wondering why he has a regular minifigure head, is due to the fact that this originally in the original LEGO SpongeBob sets, Squidward did in fact have a regular minifigure head. Nowadays he has a new mold for his head, which looks a lot more like Squidward's head. But back at the time these sets were going out in 2006, this is what his head looked like. Just a regular minifigure head. But anyway, he doesn't have 4 legs. He only has 2 legs right here. And strangely, you have gray hands instead of teal hands. Yeah, and the suction cup part of his hands and tentacles and feet and stuff like that, they're actually purple. They're not gray like this. And his shirt is, it's brown color, but in the show it's darker colored than this. So yeah. But still, Squidward, despite the errors LEGO made in producing him, he's still good. And SpongeBob just fell down again. Come on, don't fall down. Now here's Patrick. Patrick right here, nicely depicted. His pants actually don't go all the way around his legs. They only go on the front, which is strange. And you don't have a standard minifigure head. You have this new cone head. I guess I'll call it the cone head, which is nicely depicts him. Actually, also just like Squidward's shirt, he's actually a darker color in the movie, or not movie, of show. And pants, he just like in the show, you have green with purple flowers, and you even have some of those dots that he had in the movie, show. And you even have his belly button right there. So yeah. And he keeps falling down, and Squidward then falls down. Surprisingly, and now SpongeBob falls down. I'll just leave him lying down like that. But now we move on to Gary. Now Gary, he may not look like a regular minifigure, but I'm gonna classify him as one. And yeah, I'm just kind of fixing him for once. All right, now here's Gary, and really the bottom of him isn't lime green. It's actually, I think, light blue. So they could have made a light blue bottom instead of the lime green bottom. And his eyes, which are made up of the cherry pieces, that they're supposed to be cherries, are also light blue in the movie. They're not, they're not green like this. the bottom of it, his bottom suction cup part is green, but most of it's blue. Just to let you know. And then you have his shell, which is made up of these two satellite dish pieces. Strangely, they could have done the paint. They could have painted it one and some and like opposite facing the opposite way. So see, like it's facing the wrong way. The swirl on his shell is facing the opposite way on each side. So yeah, those are the minifigures. Now let's move on to the accessories, like these things right here. This, and this. Alright, so now let's review the accessories. Let's start out with the boatmobile. And as you can see on the front of the instructions here, Patrick is riding the boatmobile. And I said I'll explain why, so I think the reason why is due to the fact that Patrick got his driver's license in the episode called Driven to Tears. It's where Patrick gets his driver's license and SpongeBob doesn't, as usual. And then SpongeBob becomes jealous of Patrick. So yeah, that's probably the reason why. So let's get on to the review. Just like the regular boatmobiles, you have the pointed front, kind of curves up here. Wheels, you have the function where you turn the wheels back, spin forward. You have the propeller that spins. Cool. You have the motor here for the propeller. Steering wheel, windshield. And sometimes the boats have 3 wheels, sometimes they have 4. In this case they have 4. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it better when they have 4 wheels. So yeah. Now let's move on to the crate of jellyfish. One thing that kind of annoys me is how this part right here, this part's lower than the lid right here. But still, it opens up as usual. You can get out one of the 8 jellyfish in there. A lot of the other this is one of the few sets that is pink jellyfish, or pink purple, or purple jellyfish, whatever. But most of the other sets have clear jellyfish, white jellyfish, when just about every jellyfish in SpongeBob is pink. Well, I mean, yeah, there are sometimes other colors like blue and occasionally even other colors, but still, usually jellyfish are pink, but not white. But so yeah, and you have a handle here so you can pull it around. Wheels spin just like on the boatmobile. This flexes right here thanks to a ratchet joint. So yeah, like I said, the fact that these parts aren't as high as this part, that kind of bothers me. It's just that this part doesn't plug into the stud. But I mean, they could have made this higher if they wanted to. Come on, LEGO, that's being lazy. So yeah, like that's that. Now let's review SpongeBob's bed. And yeah, it has some dust on it because I got this a while back. And as you can see, you have the alarm clock here. It's Foghorn alarm clock. And if you pull it out, it launches SpongeBob. So let's try. We lay SpongeBob here. We pull the alarm clock out, and look, it launches SpongeBob. Now I'll show you it in slow motion. Alright, so yeah, that was from a lot of the older episodes of SpongeBob, but still pretty cool. And you have a nice like pillow right here. You have the life ring here and stuff like that. Pretty cool. And see, this is what makes it fly. You'll line up the holes and put the cross axle in. And the alarm clock can spin. I don't see why you would want to, but still. Alright, so now let's move on to the launcher. Just like this does, but you hit this red cross axle and it launches stuff. Like the jellyfish. Let's get one. And yeah, let's set it on here. And yeah, it fires better than the bed does. So yeah, I'll keep that out when I review the next thing. But still, it's one thing that kind of annoys me is how it sticks out on this side. But Lego, it wasn't an act of laziness because they had to do it to build it. And I mean, this is these two parts right here, which you kind of slide across to like a railroad track or something. I don't know, but still. Just like I said, this has dust on it because it's old. So yeah, pretty cool. Now let's move on to our last accessory, the jellyfish net launcher. And this probably won't launch as well as the previous launcher, or even the bed, but still, let's try. And surprisingly, it actually launches better. One thing I don't like about launching things here when I do my reviews is that it could take. I'm afraid I may lose it during the review and take a while to find it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, you have right here on the jellyfish net, you have these green cones, like I think that's like coral or grass or something, and it's all a tan color, which is like the color of the ground in the SpongeBob movie. I mean SpongeBob show. Sorry, I keep saying movie. And just like this, if you flick it here, launches it. I don't understand why they didn't put a cone here. I guess it's just to make it more like detailed or something. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, those were the accessories. Now let's move on to the houses. Alright, so now we're down to the last section of the review, the houses. Now, first off, we're going to start out with Patrick's Rock. Now, Patrick's Rock, first thing you can notice is that it has this little antenna up here, TV antenna, but it doesn't really look like the way it does in the show. I mean, yeah, but still, I mean, it's good enough for an antenna. Open it up, you see there's Patrick's TV, his lounging chair, and that's pretty much like the old classic episodes, but he added an extra thing that they didn't have in those episodes. A little coffee table with a coffee mug on it, which is pretty cool. They added in a little thing like that. Nowadays, what they show in the show is just pretty much everything's made out of sand, and yeah, but still, in the older episodes, you have a TV and a chair, which Patrick usually falls off the top of his rock and breaks it. So yeah, and yeah. This can kind of spin around if you would like. And yeah, this opens and closes. Nice detail. And so yeah, it's Patrick's Rock. Now we move on to Squidward's Easter Island Head. First thing I want to point out with this set is, see how it's chewed here? It's because one time one of my dogs used to sleep with me and he chewed these pieces up. And I called LEGO to get a replacement for this piece, but they didn't have this piece at the time. So yeah, it's still chewed up. I'm sorry, but still. But anyway, yeah, let's start the review. As you can see, it's not pushed down all the way. I just can't get it pushed down because of the chewing marks. And this opens and closes. And you can see it's not as detailed as this is probably one of the least detailed houses, yet it's one of the most detailed in the show, which is one thing I don't understand. And yeah, these eyes I just need to fix because of my stupid dog chewed everything up when he got to this set. Yeah, now, just sorry, guys, I'm fixing this. Alright, so yeah, now let's get back to the review. Inside here you have the little coffee table or something like that. And here you have the windows, which are also like the eyes of his house, which you can throw jellyfish at and hit them. And also, although the big nose of a tiki or Easter Island or whatever disguises this, this chewed up piece is actually been used in the Space Skulls, but it's recolored in a gray color. Strangely, Squidward's Easter Island head was blue, not gray. So yeah, but still. And door, it opens and closes. So yeah. Now this is Squidward's Easter Island head. Now let's move on to the big guns, the largest piece of the set, SpongeBob's pineapple. And like I said, there's more. This took longer than. This took more out of the instructions, I gotta say, than it took to build everything else combined. Because everything else is pretty much small, except for the houses, but still, this is pretty large. This by far took the most time. Alright, and yeah, if you're wondering what that basketball is, I'm gonna get to that right now. Just to get to what this basketball is as you can see, just let me turn it. There is this basketball net right here, and yeah, and as you can see, there's basketballs here. And wait, one more thing I forgot to mention is when I was reviewing Squidward's Tiki, that's what those markings on the instructions meant. Sorry guys, I jump around in my reviews, but yeah. See, that's what the writing on the instructions was, is to get new pieces. That's what that meant. But anyway, back to the review. These basketballs, you could also use the launchers to launch them into the basketball net. And what happened to this basketball net right there? And sorry, it's not in camera range, but yeah. Now you can launch them into the basketball net using the launchers. And the basketballs, they sit right on top of these pedestals, so they fall off quite a lot actually. And another thing I'm gonna mention here is how which kind of bothers me, how it doesn't circle all the way around. It only covers half of the pineapple, which kind of bothers me, but still, you can open this up, make it straight. As you can see, you have SpongeBob's staircase here and there and stuff like that. And yeah, and you have windows, and you have the top, and again, and yeah, that's being stuck. Again, you have dust all over the top. Sorry guys. And you have yeah, sorry guys. And again, just to let you guys see it, this, instead of using the regular black lightsaber piece to connect these 3 ferns on top of the pineapple, you have a minifigure hammer right there, which is strange, but still, it's kind of cool. And some of these parts here, a lot of these parts on the pineapple are red, strangely. They're not orange. I mean, if they wouldn't even have to make a new mold. They could have just molded it in orange. I mean, come on, Lego. Anyway, you also have the chimney here, which is seen on SpongeBob's pineapple. Strangely, there's no fireplace. The only episode I can recall that had the fireplace was the episode called, well, Suds, where SpongeBob gets the suds. So yeah. And again, the door, it opens up, and you have the wheel right here, the sailor wheel to open the door. Not the right color, but still. And yeah, sorry. Alright, anyway, yeah, that's everything here. Now let's get to the ratings. Alright guys, so now it's time for my overall opinion, sum it all up with the set. Now, this set, I gotta say, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's pretty cool how they're doing LEGO SpongeBob. I mean, I like SpongeBob, and SpongeBob is really quite different from LEGO. I mean, SpongeBob is very different from LEGO. It's a very different theme that LEGO really hasn't really tried yet. But still, I quite like how they're making LEGO SpongeBob. I quite like the show, despite my age. So, yeah. Now, I do recommend this set. I really like it. And it's probably not found in stores anymore. But still, I highly recommend picking this set up off eBay if you can find it at a good price. It's definitely a good set. Alright, so, yeah. Yeah, this is a good set. And I mean, LEGO SpongeBob is, in fact, a cool idea. I really love LEGO's idea to make LEGO SpongeBob. Of course, it would have been a lot better if Viacom, the owner of SpongeBob, didn't take their stupid copyright so seriously. It would have been a lot better, but still. Good idea to make Lego SpongeBob. I really like this set. What do I rate it? I'll just say, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Definitely good. Now, yeah. Now this is Sly Ninja 4444 signing off.